is
Okay, so yeah, let's officially kick off. Welcome everyone. This is Chris from DoraHacks BD team, and this is another Cardano EMURGO Hackathon workshop. Today we are happy to have Nagotoshi, our old friend from Cardano, EMURGO, to join us as the host. And also we are very pleasure to have three special guests as the speakers for this workshop. They are Sneh, Sean, and Zach. And they all from zk Labs. And they're gonna probably bring some insights about introduce a little bit about their project, about the visions, and also probably some innovations, some ideas that they would like to see during the Cardano EMURGO Hackathon, because since there's a zk track for the hackathon. So yeah, I will let Nagotoshi to take the stage for now. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Chris. Good morning from my side, and good evening, good afternoon, wherever you guys all are. We have another workshop in, and really excited to have zk Labs in, and we've got three great speakers today. And I've seen the agenda, and I'm really excited to know a lot more about this. So because zk is definitely a topic that is talked about a lot, so everyone wants to know more. More knowledge is the best way. So I'll stop talking. I'll give it to zk Labs. Please introduce you guys yourselves and let us know what you guys are up to.
Amazing. So I'm just going to quickly introduce myself, and then I'll pass it on to Sneh and Zach. So my name is Sean. I'm the co-founder of zk Labs. I'm acting as the Chief Business Officer and the Chief Operating Officer. My background is in finance. So I used to work in the TradFi industry for around 7 years. Graduated from the LSE, studying economics. So I've always been around this field. Decided to go into crypto because during my experiences, I was quite disillusioned with the whole traditional finance space, and I see the crypto space as something that's going to be life transforming and really help all people around the world get basically connected in a decentralized and non-authoritarian manner. So yeah, that's how I got into crypto, and now I'm founded zk Labs with Sneh, and we're looking to bring our expertise into space too. All right, Sneh, I'll pass it on to you, my friend.
Excellent. Yeah, my name's Sneh. I actually got into crypto around 2016. My background's in engineering, and I transferred into engineering management. I've advised over a dozen different blockchain startups and blockchain companies, many of them which were sold off to rather large players like Coinbase and Binance. Started my own company, and my own wallet company as well. Yeah, that's sort of my background in a nutshell. Really been into the blockchain space, and Web3 for around 7-8 years now. So yeah, I'll pass it off to Zach.
Awesome. All right. So yeah, my name is Zach. I'm head of ecosystem at zk Labs. It's a very excellent team, and for me, it's very interesting to walk around and see how zk ecosystems are coming along. So I'm also founder of Amherst Labs, which we are also works on the zero knowledge very intensively for the past few months, and we are building a zk IBC between also like an Ethereum layer 2 solution. So in a way that it's a lot of cross points with the zk Labs, what we do here, and also same in the background in finance and fintech. Also published academic papers on bankings and very specifically focused in data area. And yeah, happy to join you guys today.
Thank you guys. So let's move on with the agenda. So I believe, Sean, you want to hit this off maybe? Yeah, the agenda of what we want.
Yeah, perfect. I'm going to just give a quick introduction to who we are. So we're zk Labs. Our vision is to bring a zkEVM layer 2 rollup to Cardano. The reason why we're looking to do this is because A, we think that ZK is going to be the holy grail for scalability. So if you look at Cardano at the moment, we're looking at a TPS of around 20 transactions per second. And we think we can get that TPS, we can increase that by 200 times. And also why we're focusing on EVM, that's because we think that since that's where all the users and the developers are, we want to attract them to the Cardano ecosystem. Our main product focuses on 3 different areas. We're looking at the bridge. So that's specifically bridging from ZK Cardano layer 1 to our rollup. It's going to be extremely secure. We're looking at the rollup technology, which is obviously the main part of our layer 2. And we're looking at the staking mechanism, which will allow participants to basically protect our network whilst earning an APR on their current assets. You look at sort of the journey for our users. Our consumer will basically stake Cardano on layer 1, and that will allow them to earn tokens on our rollup, and then they'll be able to use those tokens as a gas token and basically execute on our rollup. The way we see our product, and just to finish off, is that we think that it's an excellent opportunity to bring developers, users, and liquidity onto the Cardano ecosystem. We're looking to bring a very, very viable and attractive alternative to all of those EVM developers in the space. And not only are we looking to bring liquidity onto the Cardano ecosystem via our rollup, but we're also looking to allow users to utilize their Cardano assets in an familiar environment. All right, so that's really our product in a nutshell. I'll pass it on to Sneh.
Hey guys, yeah, so I'm really going to be diving into what we do and what our just basically the framework of our tech. So primarily we are a roll-up solution. We are a layer 2 roll-up solution. So basically, for people that don't know what roll-ups are, it really is a bundling mechanism for multiple transactions to submit onto the main chain. Roll-ups basically maintain their own state and their own track balances. So it's it is traditional like other roll-up companies and other roll-up systems out there, but really where we shine is our scalability and our transactions per second. So this significantly reduces computational and storage burden on the main chain. So ZK rollups are really the fast track for scalability. Main chain security is leveraged, for finality and really ensuring transaction integrity. So how do these zero knowledge proofs work? I know there's probably a lot of adept users out there, but I'm just going to go through it really quickly. So cryptographic protocols are like really proving validity without really revealing underlying information. So these zk proofs are evident of computations or transactions without any sort of details behind it. So therefore being zero knowledge. It's used to verify validity within the entire layer 2 ecosystem without disclosing any sort of transaction details. So it really is the premier scaling solution right now. It's efficient and really secure when processing off chain compared to a lot of other solutions or a lot of other forked solutions. So I think ZK rollups are really proving to be the front runner and the leader of maintaining transparency and security and scalability. So how do they really work together? How do the rollups and these zk proofs really work together? Well, it reduces congestion, improves scalability. As I've said, it's faster, it's cheaper, and a lot more private, decentralized applications. Because again, a lot of that data is really secure and it's really hidden from main chain data. It really, and obviously it improves integrity of for example, layer one solutions, which may have some bandwidth issues. So there really are two main components of how our system and our technology really works. It's the prover and it's the verifier. So the prover is the entity that constructs and submits transactions and zero knowledge proofs for the verifier. So it really what it does is, for example, if you had 5 different people submitting transactions on our zk network, it rolls that up and it basically creates a proof to be submitted onto the main chain. So that's really what it is a proof submission. The transaction is constructed and zero knowledge proof is generated that way. It's using obviously a pretty advanced cryptographic technique. The prover constructs a zero knowledge proof that attests to all validity and of batch transactions. And the second real big component here is the verifier. So the verifier is the entity that really operates on the main blockchain, the layer one chain, and is responsible for validating proofs submitted by the prover. So once you have the proof submission, and the proof is submitted to the layer one blockchain, the verifier basically checks for validity and making sure that there's no fraudulent transactions that are happening on the blockchain, on the layer one blockchain. The verifier's role is really to ensure that transactions are processed are valid and to conform to the rules. It really is really 3 things. It's proof validation, verification, state updates, and just inclusion into the main chain. So those are the 3 really big components of how the verifier works, and of the major components, which is the prover and the verifier. So now let's talk about like the real world applications here a little bit, and what could really be greatly beneficial here to the entire Web3 space. First one off the bat, I think the lowest hanging fruit is decentralized exchanges and DeFi protocols. And when I say DeFi protocols, I mean lending platforms, decentralized stable coins, yield farming. These are really low hanging fruits, especially because they are touching money, and they're really the easiest gateway to really break into the blockchain ecosystem or blockchain ethos as is. The real layer 2 solution here is gaming dApps and supply chain logistics, decentralized identity and authentication, and NFTs. So these really, especially since it's faster, cheaper, and basically you could have batch transactions without really compromising on A, gas fees, or B, security or validity. I think that really amplifies the use case for zk rollups. So one of the things I'll talk about, especially when it comes to NFTs, is, for example, everybody knows what a Bored Ape is. I think Bored Ape is by far one of the most famous NFTs out there. Well, with our technology and with zk rollup technology, you could actually move that ERC 721, which is the NFT standard that it's built on. You can move it over to the Cardano zk EVM equivalent, with zk rollup equivalent. So it'll be on Cardano as a zk rollup, and then transact and interact with that NFT. You could either put it up on loan, you could use it as leverage, all within the Cardano ecosystem, and then ultimately you can always redeem it right back to its ERC 721 standard. And that's really what makes this entire ecosystem worth doing, right? This entire project worth doing is that scalability, fast transactions, security, and really being able to pull developers not only from Ethereum main chain and its many EVMs and side chains, but just any Solidity developer, especially when it comes to since we are an zk EVM equivalent, can onboard right onto the Cardano ecosystem and really flourish right off the bat with the zkNet ecosystem. But yeah, that's sort of the tech in a nutshell. And I'll pass it off to Zach.
All right, awesome. So I think I'm gonna echo a lot of the points that Sneh already said, but really, like what the zero knowledge fundamentality at the core is, that how you can actually verify the information with revealing what's the information to it, right? So there is a prover side, there is a verifier side, and there is the public chain seeing monitoring the data. But at the core, what's happening is there is a problem, there is a solution, and intermediary like a polynomials, right? And then at the end, there is a true or false statement to it. So what really zero knowledge doing is that we're removing most of the intermediary polynomials out of the equation, or eventually even the solution from it. It really limits the full accessibility to the each prover or even verifier side, but it's still being able to validate their transactions. So in a way that's kind of creating a much more let's say removing trust setup from the equation out of it. So in a way, it kind of increases the security while also improving the scalability, right? So that's the kind of what's the zero knowledge at the core is doing. And I'd like to touch into a few points in terms of Cardano, because all the zk EVMs or in rollups in general have a very similar technologies using underneath. And those are the kind of in similar technologies. Also, what those are is kind of increasing the interoperability between two other rollups or other zk EVMs in a way that it promotes much more even better a compatibility to one another if there needs to be a bridging together, right? So there is also if you look at the applications building on top of the rollups, you see a lot of gaming applications or machine learning or AI supported application. All those are applications specifically built on the layer 2, because there is a much better throughput, means there is a lot of computational benefits to it. So in a way that all these applications being able to acquire this kind of special needs for their development, and that's really especially for the gaming, it opens a new avenue of new kind of users, mostly the younger people who's going to be experiment a lot of the gaming projects. It's the same with how we first experiment the internet-based games, right? And I think that's a very important point moving forward the blockchain broader adaptation. And for the rollups specifically, I think last time I checked, there was about 30 gaming applications building on top of Cardano. So in a way that if there is a rollup meant to build on top of on top of the Cardano ecosystem, it really a game changer for them, because now they have a much better competition. So they can maybe implement newer applications. So they can also start building or upgrading their applications to be much more sophisticated. So it will attract more users to it. So I think in the broader Web3 space, it's really important for how we perceive blockchain in general. And then also, one thing it's worth mentioning is that also if the rollups building on top of the layer 2 solutions, let's say in general, also it's important to have the kind of EVM or for example, in Cardano case, the MotionEVM compatibility to each other. So in a way that all the pre-existing users on that Cardano port their smart contracts without changing the codes, because for the users, you don't expect them to take the hard steps. So in a way that we can actually kind of smoothen the transactions to it. So a lot of interesting attractions seems to be happening around, especially in the gaming. And that's very exciting for us to see that development.
Awesome. Thank you guys for that amazing analysis of the whole, zk side of things. And I wanted to ask you, I mean, I know there's some questions coming in, but Chris, if you can see in the Binance, if there's any, I can't, but if you can see if there's any questions from Binance Live. But while we're at it, I know zero knowledge is a very new element, at least for me. It is, a lot of people are getting into it. And, one thing is, of course, all of the participants in the hackathon want to know what elements to look at when they're doing their project. And since you guys are already working it, what is some of the, I would say, pointers you would like to give to the participants of the hackathon when they're embarking into the ZK route as to how you want to, what sort of advice you would give, something like that. So anything?
Yeah, sure. I think really ZK rollups are, obviously a great scalability solution when it comes to really any layer one chain. I think really what makes us novel, and I guess here comes the short sell pitch here, is we are a zk EVM equivalent. We are 100% equivalent to any other EVM out there. Extremely easy to use. Same library functions. If you've built anything on Ethereum, you can easily onboard directly onto our network, which is our claim to fame here. Awesome.
And I know there are a lot of elements of ZK that rollups that come into mind, but one of the things that do come into mind is the parallel processing, which is a form of computation. So how does that enhance the scalability of, let's say, MotionEVMs and zkNet as a whole?
Yeah, so parallel processing is the process that's happening. You verifying multiple transactions at the same time, right? So what does it really promoting with the MotionEVM is that the users being able to acquire much bigger and throughput for their development process. So it's a really deeply embedded into that, let's say the architecture, and it seems to be a very interesting approach that's happening on that specific node. So yeah, I mean, we just coming back to the point that there's the multiple kind of proof technologies happening. There's a snarks and there's a snark, and then how we also it really there's many particles happening around. But it's definitely parallel processing is one of the key features on the EVM motion on that.
Yeah, and where parallel processing really comes in. I think it really helps with computation offloading. I think that is basically, I think, one of the core competencies of zk rollups. I mean, it's just you're able to basically offload everything from the main chain. Not everything, but mostly all the computation, all off chain, and still have it scalable and verifiable on the main chain. And I think, specifically when it comes to batch processing, I think that's really where zk rollups shine compared to a single transaction on a layer one main chain.
Okay, thanks for that. And I want to ask, if devs want to get into zkNet and they want to start utilizing your platform, what is it what sort of resources or help do devs be getting if they come onto zkNet and want to start utilizing your platform?
Yeah, sure. So we'll be rolling out developer tools, developer forums. Obviously, Discord, I think, is a mainstay in every Web3 area. Having those Q&As, having those community calls, making sure we're really interacting with developers, and making sure they're also interacting with other developers as well. I think creating a rather large ecosystem of developers where people could not only answer their own questions or interact with each other, bring on other developer friends, but also really bring them into a I hate to say the word centralized, but a centralized platform where they could discuss anything, and that's really what we're building. And obviously, we have developer docs, developer tools, API integrations, widgets, if that may be. So yeah.
Nice. And I want to ask about zk Labs in general. How many? I see, of course, the three main guys here, but what's the team like? How you guys, how is it like a team of, is it a huge team right now, or are you guys starting up to? What sort of, because a lot of times projects in Hackathon, they're like, oh, we need a huge team to start with or something like that. So it's, it would be giving a guideline that even few people could start doing it and build on that, just like any other, just like zk Labs. So it's just want to know, what sort of setup does zk Lab have? Like, like, is it like a team of 10, 15 you guys are all?
Yeah. So we have a team of developers that we're working closely with, that we are helping us basically build out the tech. Basically, we have Zach and Sneh here who are extremely technically competent, so that really helps out making sure that everything is basically on track and moving forward.
Nice. Cool. Well, is there any questions, Chris, from the Binance Live? Do you know? For ZK?
I asked about our team, but it seems like there's no questions there.
Okay, not a problem. Usually questions roll out after the live streams are done, usually when they view the recordings, which is fine. If there is any questions for you guys, it will be coming on our Discord. So, make sure to join that and, ask any questions, and, I'll pass it on to zk Labs about, anything you guys have, questions about the ZK route or anything. It's the best thing is just to ask, open the ticket, and we will pass it on to these guys, and they can definitely guide you the way. Yeah, definitely, it was an honor to speak to you guys, and thank you so much for passing some knowledge. I'm very sure a lot of the members in our hackathon would find this very useful as they embark in the hackathon. And one thing I want to mention, guys, the submissions, have opened up now. And you guys can go to this website right here down there, and you guys can start submitting your builds, and also register as a hacker. One thing, Chris, while we're here, and I know this is this is about the hackathon, which we need to. There are some people who are asking about the process of submission. How it is. They're a bit confused because there's that being a hacker and then submit build. Would you want to just touch on that a bit? Like, what's the difference? Because some people, I think there's a community member that's asked about that. Yeah.
Can you clarify the question again?
So one of the members has basically, let me just let you guys know. And I think so they said, I've registered as a hacker for the hackathon and submitted a build, but I cannot seem to submit it to the actual hackathon. I see the build on my profile.
So I guess they need to be verified as a actual project on a platform. And once their project got verified, then they can use their profile to actually apply for the hackathon. If they wait for more than 1 day and their project cannot still be verified as a project, they should definitely contact our ops team to help them optimize that process. Yeah.
Awesome. I just want to bring that up because it's really important, because submissions have started, and there's an issue. So definitely, but yeah, do touch us to the Discord, get in touch with us, and then we can bring it to DoraHacks and we can get that cleared. But thank you guys very much for this, and let's catch up soon. And thank you for this amazing insight on ZK. So at Rollups. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.